Hello, I'm Suzanne Powell and I'm CEO and founder of Simple Business Transformation. And I'm going to talk to you on this webinar today about how you can save your company thousands, if not millions. And if you stay on the webinar to the end, I'm going to give you a digital version of this book, 63 Easy Ways to Reduce Your Business Costs. That's currently selling on Amazon for £9.90, but more on that later. Now, I'm going to be upfront with you. This is a recorded webinar, and that's because it's very difficult to schedule a meeting or a webinar with people as busy as you. So this is an on-demand webinar, which means you can watch this at any time that suits you. But that doesn't mean that I can't see your comments or questions. So you'll see there's a box on the right. If you put your email address in there and make your comment or ask your question, I'll get back to you as soon as the webinar finishes. This webinar is going to show you how easy it is to reduce your business costs without having to spend money on an expensive expert or on an expensive team or on expensive tools or systems. It doesn't matter what type of business you are, but how much you save is going to depend on the size of your organisation. This process did save one company 34.9 million and another 20.2 million, but they were FTSE 100 companies. So whether you are a retail store or a factory or an office, this process works best for medium to large businesses. Basically, any business with greater than 50 employees. And that's because the reality is that most of your expensive commodity is going to be people or headcount. So if you use this process to make your business more efficient, then you have two options. Option one is if you choose to reduce your headcount, then reduced headcount will lead to reduced costs and therefore more profits. Or option two is to keep the same number of people but take on more work and then use the improved efficiency to do more work with the same number of people, which will increase your revenue and therefore your profits. If you follow my process and you improve your efficiency, then you will have the luxury of deciding which option you take. Whichever option you choose, you should be able to reduce your business costs by 12 to 14%. I have had clients save more. One client who had a cost base at 62 million used this process I'm about to show you to bank 14.6 million. And for those of you that are quick with maths, you will have worked out that that's a 23% reduction in costs. So I don't just mean £20 here or there. I'm talking about enough money that you could utilise the money to fund growth. You could use the money to diversify your business. You could double your salary. You could take on more staff to relieve the pressure. You could pay a bonus to your employees. You could use it to drop your prices and give your business an edge over your competitors. You could come in under budget and wow your boss. You could pay out a dividend to shareholders. Obviously, you've joined this webinar because cost reduction is desirable to you. And let's be honest, lower costs equals more profits. And who wouldn't want more profits? So if by the end of this presentation, you learned exactly how to reduce your costs and increase your profits, would you be happy? Whatever the reason is that you want to reduce your business costs, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that I'm going to show you how to do it. And what's more, I can show you how to do it for little or no cost other than your time and or your team's time. Just imagine seeing an improvement in your profits. And when your business becomes more efficient, it not only improves your profits, it also leads to better customer satisfaction and more engaged employees. Why? Because when things go wrong, when processes are inefficient, then it tends to impact the customer. And employees get frustrated, running around, trying to keep fixing things when processes fail. With improved processes come quicker lead times and improved customer experience, and this generally leads to more sales, increased customer satisfaction, and customer retention. In one company, we improved the order provision process, the success rate of orders that went through that process. It was a new product, so the process was very manual, and they were only managing 85 orders a week. We took the waste out of the process, and the orders increased from 85 a week to 4,000, which generated a 3.3 million increase per annum in revenue. There was also a 1.3 million reduced costs from call reduction because customers were continuously chasing their orders. And remember, I mentioned the byproduct of customer satisfaction improvements for improving your processes. Well, customer satisfaction rose from 45% to 93%. And in this situation, the cost reduction didn't result in reduced headcount. It resulted in the team being able to process more orders with the same number of people. And because your processes are simpler, there is less frustration for employees who previously had to deal with complexity, workarounds, rework, customer complaints. And this can reduce customers' costs in itself, because happier customers equals reduced employee churn, which equals reduced costs from recruiting to replace them. So, right, moving on. So let me ask you a question. Does this sound like you? If you're working long hours and you dared calculate your hourly rate because you're worried it would depress you, do you start at the beginning of the year on budget and gradually fall behind? Do you want your business to grow, but you need the money to scale up? Do you want to have a better plan for your retirement, but you don't have the funds to do it? Do you have cost reduction targets, but you don't know how you will meet them? Do you have concerns about the financial future of the company if you don't do something now? Or do you just want more money so you can buy the things you want in life, a new car, more holidays with the kids, a bigger house? So if you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're not alone. Those reasons are why companies pay me to solve exactly those problems that you are experiencing now. Of course, the reason I'm showing you this is so you don't have to pay for an expert. I'm showing you this so you can solve those problems on your own and become more profitable, reduce your working hours, and ensure you either hit budget or you come in under budget. So why should you trust in me that I know what I'm doing? Well, I'm not going to list everything I've done, but I started my corporate transformation career in BT in 2005, and I finished my last contract in the Caribbean for a company called Digicel in 2020. During those years, I've had an enormous amount of time and money invested in my career, from getting my black belt in Lean Six Sigma to becoming a neuro-linguistic practitioner. I've been incredibly lucky during my career. So why should I leave my highly paid corporate career to start my own business? Well, just as my contract in Digicel ended in April 2020, coronavirus hit and we were unable to get out of the country and get a flight home. I had job options for Dubai and Saudi, Amsterdam and Dublin, but I couldn't take any of those options. I was just stuck. So I decided to start my own business so that I could help businesses that were struggling due to the pandemic. I entered for a Stevie Award as a new startup, and I had some very kind comments from the judges. Simple business transformation helps clients to increase the efficiency of their business by removing complexity and increasing customer satisfaction and operational effectiveness. And I think this is a very generous business that helps companies during the pandemic. Ms. Powell took an unfortunate situation and created an opportunity to share her wealth of knowledge. Her successful career clearly helped make this startup launch. So I provided the evidence to these judges and I got some very nice comments back. And these comments made me think, you know what, I can't be a doctor or nurse during the pandemic, but while I sit and wait for a flight, I can do my bit to contribute and help out businesses that are struggling due to the pandemic. After 2 months of waiting for a commercial flight, the company prayed for a private jet and we finally got home. So now, rather than work in one company, I chose to work with all you guys to teach you the steps I would take in your business to increase your profits by reducing your costs. Now, this methodology isn't rocket science. You could probably find all the different parts in a book or maybe on YouTube. This program combines a data-driven approach combined with Lean Six Sigma and process mapping. And this methodology is commonly taught, but what isn't commonly taught is the logic that's applied to it. And it's this logic and this process that's allowed me to deliver £67.9 million over the last few years. Fast forward a year and imagine a more lean enterprise with improved customer satisfaction, more engaged employees, and an efficient business, which you can see with a dashboard of measures that you can look at on a weekly or daily basis to tweak to make the business even more effective. So let me share with you 3 little known secrets about business transformation and specifically about business cost reduction. Secret number 1, you can do it with little or no investment. You see, when people think about making their business more efficient and reducing their costs, they assume they have to use automation, buy a system or pay for an expert. And obviously, if you're wanting to save money, you probably aren't going to want to spend money. What if the new automation doesn't work? How can you be sure that the money you save is greater than the investment you put in for the automation? It's a risk, isn't it? Well, the answer is you can use my program to just make the changes that don't cost you any money. And then if you decide to, you can use any money you save to invest in any changes that will cost you money, such as automation. You don't have to, but at least that way you're only spending money you've already saved. Make sense? And I always recommend this first step anyway, because you need to take the waste out of the processes before you automate. Otherwise, you are just paying to automate inefficiency. I have gone into businesses and taken out unnecessary process steps that the business had paid to automate. That's madness, isn't it? So when you've eliminated all the unnecessary activities, you can look at how you can make the things that are left, the things that are right, more efficient. And this is where automation can come in. In one company, where there was a team that managed order jeopardy, and we used this process that I'm talking to you about today to remove the non-value add work, and we automated the remaining value add work. Use of this process resulted in a 40% reduction of the work handled by the jeopardy teams, which generated savings of 2.9 million. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could reduce your costs in the same way? You may think that you don't have 40% waste in your processes, but neither did they. So obviously, to identify the non-value add activities in your business, you have to look at your processes. You may not think of your business as a collection of processes, but everything we do in every part of the day is following a process. And without realizing it, some of those processes can be inefficient. When you make a cup of coffee, you follow a process. And sometimes when you make a cup of coffee, you do it inefficiently. Filling the kettle up with more water than you need means the kettle will take longer to boil and you'll use more electricity, and that's inefficient. Keeping the milk in the fridge that's a long way from the kettle, or keeping mugs in a cupboard away from the kettle, means you have to walk to get the mug and walk to get the milk, and that's inefficient. Standing around waiting for the kettle to boil is not a good use of your time, so that's inefficient. But it's also inefficient to wander away while it's boiling, and then you come back, you need to reboil the kettle. That's a waste of electricity, which is inefficient. Now, this might sound like a ridiculous example. No one really analyzes and streamlines the coffee making process, but we live with inefficiency in everything we do, and we don't always recognize it. And making a cup of coffee inefficiently is such a small thing. But if you are paying people who are working inefficiently, then that becomes a much bigger deal. And if you don't have standardized processes, then your employees could all be completing the task in a different way. The task is getting done, so you don't notice it's being done differently, but the implications are that your customers, whether internal or external, get a different experience depending on which employee they deal with. And for external customers, an inconsistent customer experience can lead to customer dissatisfaction. Which leads me to the third implication, which is training new recruits. A standardized and documented process ensures that they do the job in the way you want them to. Another implication is performance management. If you have a standardized process, you can measure people against their ability to deliver that process. So if you've mapped the processes and signed a process time to each task, and you know that process on average should take an hour, then if you have employees that take an hour and a half or 2 hours or 3, then you know that they need some performance management. I once ran a team who had to provide job packs. I had one person on the team who could consistently produce 11 job packs a day, and another who could only complete 4. We mapped the optimum processes, and this became best practice. And I found that the person who only completed 4 job packs a day was completing unnecessary tasks, which meant the job was taking much longer. So you might not think of your business in terms of a bunch of processes, but the fact is they are there. And the likelihood is that those processes aren't as efficient as you might think. Until you map and analyze them, you will never know. If you have an inefficient process, then it's going to cost you money. Think about recruiting. The process starts with making the decision that you need to recruit and ends with a new recruit onboarding on day 1. There's a whole heap of process steps in between. How long does it take you to recruit someone? Probably a lot longer than it should. So staying on the HR theme, do you have standardized processes for all your HR activities? Here's a typical service catalogue for all the processes that sit within the HR function. On the left, in the grey boxes, are the core processes that an HR function would undertake. And to the right, the white boxes are the very high-level process steps. You may even be looking at some of these processes and thinking, well, I don't do some of those, so I don't have to worry. But if you don't have processes, it can be as inefficient as having processes that perform badly. For example, as I mentioned before, if you don't have a performance management process, then you could well have underperforming employees, and that's costing you money. And if you don't have an exit process for employees, then you may not know why they're leaving, and your churn numbers could be high and not understood, and that's costing you money. You'll have a similar set of tasks for other processes for your other functions, such as finance, sales, and order provision, etc., even if you don't formally recognise them as such. So when I say you can deliver cost reduction with little or no investment, what I'm talking about is money. There is, however, an investment in your time. Now, I know it's hard to invest the time when you're busy, but as you work through each area of your business, making each one more efficient, your investment will pay off. Your teams will be more efficient and they'll have more time, and more efficient processes means less problems will need fixing, which means you'll have more time. Your internal and external customers will come to you with fewer queries or problems and you'll have more time. So you see where I'm going with all this. The hardest step to make is the first one. But if you think, oh, you know what, it's fine, I don't think there's any waste in the business and I can't be bothered, I just don't have time, you may find that your competitors are taking these steps and it's now giving them an edge in the market. No one can be left behind. Transformation is crucial to your business. Let's move on to secret number 2. So secret number 2 is you don't need specialist skills or an expensive transformation team. That doesn't mean it doesn't take resource. You will need to get people in a room for a day to map the processes because they are the experts who know the process inside and out. And you may need someone to dedicate time to this for a few months to get all of this going for you. Now, if people are doing this alongside their day job, then it's going to take longer to implement than if you have a transformation team, but it is doable. If you already have a transformation team, then it's simple. You just give this program to them. So let's take a look at the program. So module 1 is about setting yourself up for success and making sure you get a solid start to your journey by understanding what your business strategy is about and summing it up in a vision and mission statement, using a top-down approach to set your strategy and align the transformation to ensure success. That way, the whole organisation knows what the business is about. The transformation you undertake needs to align to your strategy or it will fail. So having a mission and vision statement will ensure you stay on track and aligned to your strategy. And this is quite important when I go into a business. I always ask for a success statement or a vision and mission statement because there is no sense in me recommending you offshore your customer service team if your vision and mission statement states that it stays onshore, the customers deal with an onshore team. You then define the problem, decide where to start your transformation. What are your highest costs? Where are your highest costs? What are your biggest problems? This ensures that you and the whole team understand what needs to be fixed, and it keeps you focused on the problem you need to solve and why. Then we look at how to decide which process you look at first. Obviously, you want it to be the one that costs you the most money, and I'll show you how to identify that. And then you go through the preparation that will set you up for your workshop, whether it's a face-to-face workshop or done remotely over Zoom. And there are several downloads that will help you prepare and run the workshop so you have everything you need to start finding your opportunities. Then you schedule your one-to-one review to look at your strategy, your success statement, and the area you've chosen to transform, whether it's HR, finance, call center, back office, sales team, customer care. I will apply years of experience to validate your ideas and make other suggestions that will ensure your success. Then we move on to making your processes more efficient. In module 2, we start the business of mapping your processes. Using a real life example from a previous project, I will show you the simplest way to map your processes. I will show you how to decide what parts of the process you should measure so that you instantly know whether the process is running effectively or not. So we measure the process using the same example, and we'll overlay the process with the measures and show you how to calculate your process time and lead time. You'll be shocked at how long tasks take and how much waste there is in the process. And these are all the opportunities for improvement. Then we look at how to analyse the process. Now you'll be able to look at the inefficiencies in the process and, coupled with the data insight, create a list of opportunities. And again, there are downloadable resources that help. Then we move on to improving the processes. And here's where you learn how to create the initiatives and understand the cost benefits in implementation. Even simple policy decisions can yield significant benefits as you re-engineer the process. And then you schedule your second review to go over the output of the workshop. And here's where our experience really comes to the fore, because we can see whether your measures are going to be the right ones, whether there are opportunities that you've missed, and how we can save you even more money. Finally, in module 3, we look at the cost benefits and the best way to prioritize your initiatives. You will learn how to get the biggest bang for your buck. Tools and template downloads will shine the light on the easiest and most effective solutions you can implement. And then at this point, you schedule your final review with you and your team to sign off the list of quantified opportunities. And this is the opportunity to get any extra help you may need. The videos take you step by step through the program, and downloads and templates take the guesswork out of the required action. All you need is Post-its, a wall, and a marker pen. And if you're doing it virtually over something like Zoom, then you'll need the PowerPoint template that's also included as a download and a way of sharing your screen. Or you can use process mapping software, and I can share links to both free and paid versions. And here's proof that you don't need a large team to do this. So one company that I worked in, the customer service team were reviewing a process that changed how they recovered failed orders. And a team of 32 people were failing to deliver this project. So when, after 6 months of failing, a new MD came into customer service, the team of 32 were redeployed, and I was asked to see if I could come in and fix it. So there was only budget for 4 people. And so 6 months into the year, we had to deliver 14.6 million, where a team of 32 had already failed. But we used this process to get it done. It was a massive challenge, but we did get it done. So let's move on to secret number 3. Secret number 3 is, no matter how efficient you think your business is, there's always opportunity to reduce your costs. Some of you may have already tried to reduce your costs and failed, and you think there's nothing to be gained. And it's true that transformations can fail. If you Google it, you'll see that approximately 70% of transformations fail, and they fail for many reasons. And I've been called in many times to fix failed transformations, and every time I've used this program to recover and deliver. On other occasions, business owners or senior managers assume the business is already efficient and there's nothing to be gained. Through analysis of your processes, you'll be able to find many improvements that will make your business run more efficiently, and all you have to do is look. I was telling you earlier about the MD who redeployed the transformation team. Well, he was convinced there was no chance of delivering that 14% efficiency challenge he'd been given, especially when there was only 6 months of the year left to do it. But 6 months later, we delivered, and finance signed off benefits that amounted to a 22.8 cost saving, which far exceeded his 14% goal. And this is the biggest hurdle I come across in business transformation, because trying to convince people that the very processes they probably created could be improved is a very difficult task. In all the businesses and organisations and departments I've worked in, they have for the most part said you won't find cost reductions. So how do you get the most cost efficient business? How do you get your business or organisation to outperform your competitors? Or how do you ensure your board or CEO looks to you as the role model for hitting their targets? Well, as you saw previously, I've developed a course that's just 90 minutes of video tutorials that take you step by step through a cost transformation. And this is your chance to make your business the best it can be. Not only will it reduce your costs, but it will improve your efficiency. You will increase customer satisfaction, you will improve employee engagement, and of course, you will increase your profits. So let me ask you a question. Would you like to reduce your business costs? Would you like your business or organisation to be more productive? Would you like to increase your profits? Would you like to be able to grow your business? And if you have a commitment to cost reduction and cost control, then you're more likely to survive an economic instability. So what are you going to get? Let's talk about the program itself and what you get. Well, obviously you get the book that I mentioned at the start of the webinar. The book is called 63 Easy Ways to Reduce Your Business Costs, and that's free for just turning up on this webinar. This is the digital version of this book, and this teaches you how to analyse your P&L. Or if you're an organisation within a large corporation and you don't have access to the company's P&L, then it shows you how to analyse your business metrics and organisational spend, such as mobile spend, travel and subsistence, etc. It shows you how to do your own analysis, but it also includes 63 business hacks that you can implement in your business. Now, you can buy this book on Amazon for £9.90. It currently has, I say this very proudly, 2 5-star reviews. It's only just been published, so I'm pleased to have 2 5-star reviews. Or you can buy it for £2.99 for the Kindle version. But as I said before, I'm giving you this ebook version away for free. Now, you might be wondering, why is she giving the book away when she can sell it? What's the catch? Well, there is no catch, because although by giving you the book, I'm losing sales from Amazon, it's not actually costing me anything to send you the book. So it's my gift to you. Then for the program itself, you get the online course where 90 minutes of video tutorial and downloadable resources walk you step by step through a business cost transformation. It's a complete overhaul of your processes. It ensures that you align to your strategy. It helps you identify which are your most expensive processes, and then it shows you how to very easily and quickly map those processes, overlay them with metrics, measure how long each process step is taking, and it then shows you how to do the analysis and identify the opportunities, which you then build into a prioritized list ready for delivery. And as you implement each initiative, you will see the impact on your bottom line. Now, this course has been valued at £2,500. So not only do you get the book and the online course, but at the end of module 1, you get an hour's free consultancy just to check you're okay with everything before you get into the process mapping in module 2. So we can discuss your strategy, we can look at your org chart and the preparation for the workshop. And at the end of module 2, when you've mapped your first process, you get 3 hours with me to go through what you found, and I can see if I can find any other opportunities that you may have missed. And then at the end of module 3, we can spend another 3 hours looking at the prioritization of the initiatives and the value they will bring to your business. These consultations can be one-on-one if you want confidential business advice, or they can include members of your team if someone's going to run this program for you. It is entirely up to you. And this can be broken into hourly sessions, or it could be in the full 3-hour block. I'm not too rigid on timing, so if we run over, that's fine by me. And the value of that is £1,200. So alongside the book, the online course and the one-to-one strategy, you also get a deep dive on your business by taking a confidential survey. Now, the report you get back from the survey is not automated, so the advice will depend on your responses. And the value of that report is £100. So if you've added it all up in terms of value, then it comes to 3,800. And 3,800 reflects the value you will get from the course, because I know you would reduce your business costs by thousands, if not potentially millions. So that may be the value of the course, but that's not the price I'm wanting. But before I tell you the price, let me ask you a question. If this program reduced your business costs by a far greater amount than the cost of this program, and if it increased your profits, would it be worth 3,800? If all the program did was give you the ability to invest money back into your business, would it be worth it? And if it gives you and your teams more time back in the day to get more done, would it be worth it? What about if it helped you hit your budget, allowed you to reduce your prices, grow your business and gain more market share? Would it be worth 3,800? If I could guarantee you could get the cost of the package back, or I'd give you a full refund, would it be worth your investment? If I help you deliver a significant cost reduction in your business, then wouldn't it make sense to pay me the value of the course to achieve that? Because then every year those savings would be pure profit. And as I said, the course is guaranteed. If you don't make 3,800 back, you wouldn't have to pay a penny. But the price today is $997. And that's with an absolute money back guarantee. So if you complete the course and you don't save at least the value you have paid, then I will give you a full refund. If you get an expert in, it's going to cost you anywhere between £500 to £800 a day and could take anything up to a year. That's from 115,000 to 184,000 per annum with no guarantee of success and no money back guarantee if they don't find anything. That sounds expensive, doesn't it? So this has to be a risk-free investment. You don't just take the course and I disappear into the sunset. I will be there guiding you every step of the way. And while I can't guarantee the size of the savings, or even that you will find any savings, what I can guarantee is if you don't find any savings to the value of £997, you will get a full refund. So after this webinar, you may decide to continue as you are, or you may make the investment, and I can give you the tools to take your business to the next level. So you want to sign up for the program today, then click on the right-hand side. It will take you to a page which looks like this. And you'll see a screen like this, and you click on the buy button, which will take you to the payment screen, where you can put your credit card details in or pay by PayPal. And don't forget that PayPal has a pay in 3 option, which spreads the costs over 3 months. So you can fill in the details here and it will immediately take you to the course. You can either do the course yourself or you can share the login with a member of your team. You now have a decision to make. You can make the decision today to invest and the course will be made available to you immediately, or you can walk away and carry on tomorrow just as you've been doing. Now, because of the time I spend personally with you and your team, it means I am limited to numbers joining the program. So click the buy now button on the right, but if you still have questions, then ask away by filling in your email address and your question on the right hand side, and I'll be in touch as soon as possible. So before we finish, let's have a quick look at some FAQ. So one question I'm asked is, how long will I have access to the program? And access is for 12 months, because I found knowing that you only have 12 months to complete the training will help you keep the momentum up. Of course, if you did need longer for access, I mean, who knew COVID was going to hit, then absolutely the time can be extended. All you have to do is ask. Now, the question is, how quickly will I see results? Well, that depends on you. The videos only take 90 minutes to watch. But the time will depend on how quickly you can set up and run the workshop. The quicker you set it up and get your processes mapped, the quicker you will start to see the benefits. Is it hard to map the processes? Not really, no. If, for example, you decide your sales processes need reviewing, then you would have the key people who live and breathe the sales process in the room, and they will be able to take you through every step. The hardest part is getting a concise description from them, because when you ask what happens next, they often give you a long story, but don't worry, there's a video on process mapping that shows you exactly how to do it. What should I do if I can't run the workshop and I don't have anyone to do it? We do have a do it for you service, so we can map the processes for you, but obviously that will cost you more money. So I'd suggest that initially you use some of your bonus hours of consultancy and I run the first workshop for you. Doing myself out of money there, but there you go. How does this fit in with digital transformation? Everyone is talking about digital transformation, and to be honest, I suspect the drive for digitalization, well, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Digitalization is only going to increase now that the businesses have experienced the need for it during the pandemic. However, technology shouldn't be your starting point. The last thing you need is to invest in an expensive platform that isn't right for your business and for your customer needs, because you'll just spend even more money trying to correct the error. Learning about your processes and making them leaner now ensures that you don't automate something that isn't needed, and it means that you know your business inside and out when you do take it to that next level. I can sign up today, but I'm not the one who will be doing the work. How will that work? Well, when you sign up, you enter your name, you create a password, and you enter your email address. And when you get the email confirming your acceptance on the program, you can either forward that email to the person in your organization who will be running your transformation. Of course, this means they'll need to use your email address and password, or you can email me with the name and email address of the person you've chosen, and we can change it on the system. So that's it, we're done. It's a simple program to follow. You watch the video, you download the templates, and you work your way through the modules. You take the prescribed action and you get the one-to-one support as required. It's a money back guarantee, it's no risk. And the only reason I have been doing this for free, but the reason I'm charging for it is because if you pay for it, you will value it. And if you do the work and you don't get any benefits, then you get the money back. You know, the process works so well that, and I'm so convinced it will work for you, that you get this money back guarantee if it doesn't work. But you do have to put the work in. It's not a get rich quick scheme. That it does require you to map your processes. So sign up. I can only take so many people, so it's first come, first served, and I will see you on the other side.